Speaking of dirt, we go from the dirt alert to stuff you can grow in the dirt. Half-price deals to local garden centers all week long. That's what we've been offering you. From Paul's Market today, here is Gary Paul back with us on Twin Cities Live. Nice to see you again.
How you doing there, John?
Doing all right. All right, we are talking about, we're talking gardening here. We're talking thrillers here. Thrillers, we're getting excited.
Thrillers, fillers, and spillers.
And spillers. My goodness, we got all three of them for you. And we're starting in the sunshine. What do you mean by thrillers, fillers, and spillers? And I think you've shown us the examples here.
John, container gardening has become so big in the last couple of years that, people can fill a pot and put it anywhere in their yard, put it on their patio, on their deck. And here's just a few examples of what we can do with a nice container and that type of thing. We call it container gardening. And the thriller part of it is, we start with, like, say we have the hibiscus, we have a jasmine, we have a cordyline, and those three plants would be our thrillers.
The things that really stand out about the piece.
Yeah, kind of gives it a little height.
Okay.
Gives it a little different texture.
And you pointed out something to me before the show, which to me was news. I don't know if it is to everybody, but I kind of like the positioning in the different ones that you have. And the one that you see right here is positioned in the middle. This one, with the red at the top, I don't know which one you have.
That's hibiscus.
Hibiscus. It's positioned toward the back, and that's strategic.
Well, it is, because you can place your pots, say if you have it in the middle of your patio or on your deck. You might want your centerpiece in the center of the container. Whereas if you want to tuck it back in a corner of some sort, you can design your pot and put the thriller piece in the back, and then have your fillers and your spillers coming over the front. Okay, and the thrillers and the spillers are in the same spot down here, and the difference, I guess, is pretty obvious. One of them spills over and one of them doesn't, right? Boy, you're sharp.
I'm picking up on this stuff from you, Gary. You're teaching me a lot. My goodness. But here's another thing, too. They can be sun or shade. So the ones we're looking at over here are sun. This is more shade?
This here is a shade container. And what we chose here was, like, say, the cordyline being in the front. And we have some New Guineas. And we have some Hedera glacier mix, which would be draping over the side. And this kind of gives you a little bit different texture, a little different colors. And this cordyline will grow up to be, so it kind of tapers down from the center through the end of the pot.
Any colors you really like, really think work well, or is it just a matter of personal preference?
You know what? Red, white, and blue has been the top seller for the last 5 years.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay. As we move over here, my mom is huge into the herbs on her deck. She loves growing the herbs. I know people could do that in their kitchens too, but what did you bring here today?
Herb gardening is becoming huge. And as Elizabeth will attest to, I mean, she bought her new house, and she's going to be planting some herbs.
Boy, I hear enough of it from her. Now you got to tell me about it too. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, what we have, and my wife loves to use basil. So I mean, we always have a fresh basil plant, sitting right outside our deck door. And here's a little different combination of different herbs. You can have. I like to have, like, say, if you're going to do really herb gardening in a container, maybe like 3 different herbs in a container, and that's probably max. Give it a little room to grow. Let it so you have some more soil for the root structure and that kind of thing to allow it to. When you're plucking off your basil leaves and that kind of, you have enough soil to regenerate your plant to keep it growing.
Speaking of soil, is this some of your favorite soil, or what is this?
I was going to say, you guys have the dirt alert.
Yeah.
It should be changed to soil alert, because the soil in your pots is the most important thing that you can possibly, that you have to start with.
I think Elizabeth might just be up for that, as a matter of fact. Okay, Paul's Market. I know where that's at, being a Southsider myself. I know Elizabeth does too. You got some people watching right now. I know you have a lot of competition out there, Gary, so what sets Paul's Market apart?
I think our customer service, our selection, and our knowledgeable staff that'll help people pick out what they want for the right area, and it's just a great environment to shop in.
Highway 46 there in Apple Valley, and right near Lakeville, as a matter of fact. All right, so another thing that we want to talk about too here today is pavers. You brought some of that.
Yep. Paver patios, paver driveways. We've done a lot of different paver, with our landscape department the last couple of years.
Yeah, this is your work right there.
Yep, different. You can different things that you can do on your patio or your deck or we have walls, the hard stone walls and outcropping stones that you can outline your gardens and that kind of thing with, and it's just a pretty easy deal to do. But I mean, the pavers are one of our nicer pavers that we like to use.
Keep it the real popular thing going on right now. I think that's a beautiful look for any gardener, for any yard. Gary, thank you so much for being here again. Nice to see you again. Continued success there in Apple Valley, and Paul's Market is the place to be. You can head to KSTP.com. Gary's making it real easy for you to go check him out. You can go to our website, click on Twin Cities Live, go to deals, and then you can get a $50 gift card to Paul's Market for $25. Experience that great customer service for yourself that he was bragging about there. Those are going to go on sale right after our show at 4 o'clock.